The little death was following me, and by little death I don't mean what the French referred to as la petite morte. This was a real one. The smell gave it away. My name is Jim Murphy, and as for the death, I can see them. Always have. You don't have to believe me, but don't ask me how. I don't know. I do know the death wasn't mine, and I didn't like it following me. What do you want? I asked. Lost, it said. The creature showed itself then, for which I was not grateful. I mean, have you ever seen a death? Not a small d death. We all have, even if it's just a goldfish. I mean a death. The things are ugly with a capital Ugh. I started to tell it to bugger off, but it finally sank in what the creature had said. For a moment I almost forgot to walk. Wait a minute. That's not possible. Lost, it repeated. Well, that was its story, and it was sticking to it. I sighed. Let's go somewhere we can talk. I let the death follow me home. Probably not the smartest thing to do. But I only say let because it was going to do that anyway. I say home because it was where I slept. It was a small apartment off Pepper Street, 1-floor walk-up, low rent for low expectations. It suited me, unlike the death, though it followed me like a lost puppy. I found a couple of shot glasses and poured out 2 fingers of something. I had taken the label off so I could pretend it was better than it was. I sat down at the spindly kitchen table and gulped mine down. The death was too small to both sit at the table and reach the glass, so it hopped up on the table like some demonic crow and took the shot glass in taloned fingers and turned it up into its maw. Ah, it said. You said, I pointed out after a brief interval, that you were lost. The very existence of an imminent demise creates you, I know that, and you exist for one job and one job only, to implement said particular demise. You only lasted as long as that job lasts. You're like the 2 poles of a magnet, north and south. So I'll ask again, how can you be lost? I ran away, it said. I had ambition to be more than I was. Did you say ambition? That's it exactly. A death has one purpose, like you said. Doesn't matter who the death is for, it said. A pope or a roadkill armadillo, it's all the same. A purpose, one purpose. Once that purpose is fulfilled, we're done. Gone. Poof. It repeated the last word as if fascinated by it and fearful at the same time. Poof. The death's glass was empty. I filled it again, and it turned the glass up and drained it again, which I found even more curious the more times the process was repeated. The death was a tiny thing. Where was it putting all that alcohol? Regardless, it was managing quite handily, though it did hiccup a bit after the last shot. I refilled the glass. The death was looking a little bleary around the eyes, which was a neat trick since, as far as I could see, its eyes were nothing more than black holes where eyes might be expected. I was sent for a moth, of all things. A moth, it said. Well, moths have to die too, I pointed out. Sure. But a friggin' moth? Humans aren't the only things that want to become more than they are, you know. A human can change their purpose. Destiny? That's the word. Destiny. Why not a death? Aren't humans more important than moths? Well, the moth might have a different point of view, I said. He made a sound almost like a growl. Death doesn't consult the target. I sighed and poured out the last measure from the bottle, which the death drained eagerly. I set the empty bottle down on the table. I like you, you know that? It asked. Yes, very hostile. No, hopeful. Hospital? No, hospitable. That's it. You're that. Shame, though. By which you mean you want to shift your purpose to me, I suppose. Do you mind terribly? A fully grown, bona fide human? That would be worth going poof for. I just want to matter, you know? Most of us want that, I said. But you want to be my death? Afraid not. Sorry. What do you mean, sorry? I said that death doesn't consult the target. So you did. And your record is still good. You didn't consult the target, but I'm afraid you might have been too drunk to notice. It blinked at me. I'm not sure how it managed that with no eyelids, but it did. Notice what? That you already fulfilled your purpose. You just killed a bottle of whiskey. The little death gasped, then let out a long sigh. Son of a... It didn't finish because it went away. Poof. just like it said it would. And yeah, I know what you're thinking. Technically, you can't kill a bottle of whiskey because it was never alive, and that bottle especially. It's just a metaphor. But then, so was the little death.